Hey babes, how are we doing today? So in today's show, we're going to be discussing Cavalier Radio streaming venture. Hannah Poggi is here with me today to discuss her experience from transferring from traditional to streaming. So how are we doing today, Hannah?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing amazing. All right, we're going to get started with our first question. So could you tell me a little bit about what Cavalier Radio exactly is?
Yeah, so Cavalier Radio is a student-run radio station where students that take the class can actually have their own radio show that they do. And we kind of have a lot of freedom trying to decide what theme we want to do, and we get to pick our radio show name.
Right.
And for me, I'm doing more of a pop culture show.
Oh, okay.
And I talk about different topics on that. But before students get to actually have a radio show, they have to go through training.
Exactly.
So what we do is we train the people that are interested in Cav Radio, and we take them into the station, and we kind of show them like the board and how to operate the whole thing before actually getting their show.
Honestly, I really think that's like so fun that like the comm department really lets students just like have their own fun, especially in just like running their own show. Like that's honestly amazing. I really love that. And I think that just leads into my second question, which is, so tell me a little bit about your role at Cavalier Radio.
Yeah, so I have a radio show every Wednesday from 3 to 5, and my show name is called The 411. And I basically just talk about pop culture. I talk about a lot of like hot topics in the news.
Okay.
And then I bring on some guests to my show, and we kind of just talk about some conversations that are like relevant in the moment, and I kind of want to make them feel comfortable. So I talk about topics with them that they would like as well.
Okay. All right. No, I can literally see you just like on the red carpet being like, today, are you wearing Vogue? Are you wearing Chanel?
Yeah, no, that's my thing. I love like celebrity like news and gossip, so I cover a lot of that on the show.
Yeah, no, that's honestly like really cool. I love that. I think for our next question, we should discuss how was your experience with Cavalier Radio, just like transferring to going to like 100% streaming?
Yeah, so when I found out over the summer that we were transferring to 24/7 online streaming, it was a bit of a shock to me because I'm so used to saying like it was used to be called 89.1 WYBF FM, which was like the call letters in the radio station name. So that was kind of a shock to me, but I feel like now with the online streaming, there's so much more opportunities that we have, and the fact that anyone can listen to us while we're streaming 24/7 is also a great plus.
Yeah, I think like going to streaming is just like a way better option just because like everything's streaming now with like movies and podcasts and things like that. So like I just think it just gives you guys a wider audience instead of just being like a traditional radio station.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely think it's like the new wave and how a lot of other colleges and people are doing it nowadays.
Yeah. And I think that leads into my next question is exactly, do you guys feel like you're going to be reaching like a larger audience because you are 100% streaming? Or?
Yeah, I definitely think we will definitely reach a larger audience, especially with the 24/7 streaming. Because from before it would only be a few days a week.
Right.
So with the online option now, anyone can listen to it, especially if they're not near this area. So, for example, if I have family in another state, they can listen to it, and they could always go back to like the audio that is saved and listen to it. So if they don't miss, or if they miss my show that was airing from 3 to 5, they could watch it like a different day or at a different time.
Yeah. And then I also do want to ask, do you feel like there's like a lot more like pressure now because you guys do have a more controlled audience on streaming than you would on like an actual radio show? Or
yeah, I would definitely say yes, because we will have a larger audience, especially with the online, and anyone can listen to it, so that can also be harmful to us because more people have access to it and can hear like what we're saying, so we have to be super careful about making sure we are saying like the right things.
So like with streaming, like is it like, so like, I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to say here. So like, is it like podcast-ish, or is it still like radio?
It's like both. Okay. So we're still going to be playing like music, but we're also going to integrate like different segments and kind of adding more of a friendly, or it's still a friendly feel, but more of like guests and just different segments that we can add to kind of make our show more fun.
And like, do you guys have like a lot more like freedom now that you're streaming, because like you're not tied to like the rules of like the radio's I guess society or whatever they call it?
We definitely have a lot more freedom with that. We don't have too many eyes on us from like the FCC, so that's also a plus as well.
Okay, that's good, because like I feel like, because like I did co-host a show with a friend way back in freshman year, and like there was like a lot of things we wanted to like discuss or say, but like we couldn't because of the rules. So I feel like now, since you guys are streaming, you have a lot more freedom to just like, you know, be more open and like just I guess be more like authentic is the word?
No, authentic for sure. And more like genuine and kind of be more ourselves, even though like we already are ourselves.
Okay, I guess my last question is, what kinds of programs do you guys run on Cavalier?
So people have different shows and different genres. I know a lot of people do sports, which I don't personally do, because I mentioned I was doing like more pop culture and news-related stuff. But people also cover a lot of TV and movies on their shows. So it's really just up to what the DJ like wants to do.
Okay, so so it's not like, oh, you have to do this, and this. They just let you like go buck wild and
pick
figure
and
out.
choose what you want to
do. That's really great. You guys just get to like really create, just make it your own instead of just having like a set, I guess, programming. So I just want to hear, what is this Vox Pop thing?
So Vox Pop is kind of like a man on the street interview. So recently we just went around and asked students on the campus of Cabrini just a question that we wanted to kind of hear their responses from. For example, mine was, what is your least favorite food and why? And we gathered like a bunch of different interview answers.
I remember you interviewing for that.
I actually interviewed you. Yes, I did. And we edit together all of those interviews together in a video that we share to everyone.
Oh, wait, that's really fun.
And we could also add them to our show as well.
So is it kind of like the same thing as like what the other colleges are doing now? Those like on-demand things that they be doing on like TikTok?
Yeah, it's kind of like
that. Okay, that's really cool. I love that.
It's like that, but just audio. So we can import that into our radio show.
And then I also heard you do social media for Cavalier?
So I'm actually the social media director for Cav Radio. So I kind of like curate and make all of these posts for different social media platforms. We're mainly working with Instagram and TikTok. So I'm creating mainly graphics to put on Instagram stories, and then we also did an intro post to all the DJs for Instagram posting, and then TikToks. It's kind of hard to come up with ideas sometimes. So we only have like a couple videos posted on there because last year wasn't really utilized as much. But I'm excited to form more posts and create more content.
I totally get that, because like it's really hard at like Social Nexus for like us to like come up with like concepts. So like I totally get that.
Especially like original ideas as well.
All right, babes. Well, looks like that's all the time we have for today. If you guys do want to check out Cavalier Radio, you can look for them yourselves on cavalierradio.com. And if you want to check out their social media, that is at Cavalier Radio on all social media platforms. Have a great day and spread positivity, period.